Something huge is happening in the Premier League. Two men who know each other better than anyone, Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta. One is the master, the revolutionist, the greatest tactical mind of his generation.
It completely transformed the way of people thought, I think, in this country about the game, how the game could be played in the Premier League, and so many barriers that he went over, and especially the consistency that he's shown, winning, and the manner and the form that they've done.
The other is the student who studied every detail, every pattern, every idea, and who now might finally be ready to beat him at his own game.
Knowing you well.
No. Mikel knows everything. He's knowing me.
Arsenal are, by far, the most complete team in the league. They've built the best defence in England for 3 straight seasons, with Gabriel and Saliba forming a wall that has conceded only 5 goals in 11 matches. Arteta won the transfer window with frightening precision. Gyökeres, Zubimendi, Eze and Madueke arrived to create the most balanced squad in the Premier League. The midfield is stable, transitions are clean, and the freedom given to Bukayo Saka has turned him into an unstoppable force on the right. But the biggest evolution of this Arsenal side is their mastery of set pieces. 12 goals from corners and indirect free kicks, the highest in Europe, turning every dead ball into a weapon. That's why Arsenal sit top of the table with 26 points, playing with the authority of a team that believes this is finally their year. Except there is a problem, a very familiar problem. 4 points behind them, rising from the shadows, is the monster that killed their dreams twice. The team that hunted them down in 2022 and 2023. And yes, that monster is Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, back from the dead and more terrifying than ever. Guardiola has rebuilt City not around control or possession, but around a single idea, maximising Erling Haaland. And it's working at a level that should scare every club in Europe. 19 goals and 1 assist in 15 matches, numbers that look like a video game. City have scored 23 goals in the league, and Haaland alone has 14 of them. But the genius isn't just Haaland, it's the system that surrounds him. Full-backs who are actually midfielders, wingers who behave like creators, interiors who operate like forwards. Cherki, Doku, Reinders, Savinho, Foden all peaking at the same time. Doku is fresh off a masterclass against Liverpool. Foden has rediscovered his long-range finishing. Cherki is the best partner Haaland has had since De Bruyne. This City doesn't dominate with control, they dominate with chaos. So now we enter a new era, the Premier League's greatest war for the top. The best attack versus the best defence. A team where 11 different players have scored, against a team where one man has 65% of the goals, the student versus the master. Innovation versus discipline. Evolution versus perfection. Pep versus Arteta. The Premier League's new era starts now. To understand what is coming, we have to remember what came before. Arsenal have finished second in the Premier League 4 seasons in a row. No team has been more consistent than Mikel Arteta's side, but also no team has suffered more heartbreak. And nothing hurt more than the 2022/23 collapse, a moment that Arsenal fans and Manchester City fans will never forget.
A really sad day, a lot of difficult emotions. Obviously we lost the game.
When Arsenal beat Tottenham on the 18th of January 2023, they went 8 points clear at the top.
Saka to Ødegaard.
Both teams had played 18 matches. The Emirates was dreaming. North London believed. The title was finally within reach for the first time since the Invincibles. But Manchester City moved like a shadow. They hunted Arsenal quietly, calmly and without mercy. And when City smashed the Gunners 3-1 at the Emirates in February,
on he goes to De Bruyne, cross face to the goal!
They reached the top of the table for the first time since November. Even then, Arsenal responded. By April 1st, after a 4-1 win over Leeds, Arteta's team had restored an 8-point lead.
Oh, good ball. Header comes in. Oh!
But City had a game in hand, and the pressure was about to explode. What followed was Arteta's darkest month as a manager. 3 straight draws that completely destroyed Arsenal's momentum. Liverpool, 2-2 Arsenal, 9th April. A chaotic war at Anfield. Arsenal went 2-0 up, but the stadium erupted after a clash between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Granit Xhaka.
Puts in a good cross.
Liverpool turned into a storm, Firmino equalised late, and Ramsdale had to make miracle saves just to rescue a point.
Arnold back to Salah again. Oh,
West Ham, 2-2 Arsenal, 16 April, again 2-0 up, again collapse. A careless mistake from Partey started it. Gabriel conceded a penalty, Saka missed another.
3-1 up.
And Bowen punished Arsenal. 2 more points gone.
Stays down. Bowen shoots and scores.
Arsenal 3-3 Southampton, 21st April. If there was one match Arsenal had to win, it was this one. Bottom of the table Southampton. But Ramsdale gifted a goal in the first 30 seconds.
And it's Alcaraz with an early opportunity. And it's Alcaraz.
Walcott made it 2-0.
Looking for Walcott, but it's returned to Arsenal.
Arsenal saved a point, but the damage was done. Then came the night that ended everything. Manchester City, 4-1 Arsenal. 26th April, De Bruyne masterclass.
De Bruyne now in the penalty area, and that!
Haaland dominance. Total destruction.
On to Haaland! 4-1!
Arsenal were outclassed, outplayed and outpowered. City moved within 2 points with 2 games in hand. The title race was effectively over. And just to seal the coffin, Arsenal 0-3 Brighton 14th May. Nottingham Forest 1-0 Arsenal the 20th May. Brighton broke their spirit. Forest killed the dream. City were crowned champions before even kicking a ball. That 2022/23 collapse is the darkest chapter of Arteta's career as a manager. The student failed to defeat the master, but today, everything is different. Everything has changed. And this time Arsenal are not coming to survive, they're coming to take the throne back. Mikel Arteta has finally found the key to unlock the doors, and the numbers prove it. Arsenal are now the Premier League's top team for through balls, attempting nearly 4 per match, while sitting top of the table with a 4-point lead. After struggling last season to break down deep-lying defences, Arsenal have rediscovered a weapon that is completely transforming their title charge to through ball, used with a precision and frequency not seen in the league since Maurizio Sarri's Chelsea in 2018-19. The team now produces their best rate under Arteta since the 2021-22 campaign. And this shift is not just tactical. It is psychological, structural, and deeply tied to the identity Arteta wants his squad to embody in big pressure moments. And at the centre of this transformation stands one man, Victor Gyökeres. The £55 million signing from Sporting has become the decisive factor in turning Arsenal from a winning team into a champion team. Gyökeres thrives against high backlines, dominates channel runs, and forces defenders into choices they simply cannot win. As Arteta said after the 4-0 Champions League demolition of Atletico Madrid, he makes us a much better team. We've become much more unpredictable. His physicality stretches the pitch, his movement opens spaces for everyone, and his constant runs in behind have pushed Arsenal to attempt far more first-time diagonal passes from the right, catching opponents before they can set up their blocks. Bukayo Saka has benefited enormously with Martin Odegaard's trademark left-footed diagonals, finding him again and again in dangerous pockets of space. Arsenal's through-ball system now operates in 4 deadly patterns. First, the early through-ball, punishing teams in mid-blocks before they have time to retreat, usually with rapid diagonals from wide channels.
All over the top, Eza got time, pulls it across.
Second, the half-space slip, a pattern built around right-side overloads where Odegaard and Saka combine to perfection.
Timber, Saka, chance, goal!
Third, zone 14 triangles, the quick-fire combinations just outside the box that slice through low blocks with pure technical quality.
The shoulder opens up.
And fourth, the quick turnaround, where Arsenal convert opposition goal kicks into instant attacks, exploiting the high lines of teams pushing up the pitch.
Defence to attack, here come Arsenal. Leandro Trossard clips one in.
The statistics confirm the magnitude of this evolution. Last season, Arsenal's through balls dropped by nearly a quarter compared to 2023-24. This year, the numbers have skyrocketed. The contrast is dramatic. Tottenham sit bottom of the Premier League for through balls, while Arsenal are setting the standard. Even Arsenal's average goal-ending sequence has changed, down from 3.5 passes and 12 seconds last season to just 2 passes and 6 seconds this season, making the team far more direct and efficient in the final third. What makes this system even more dangerous is the squad depth. Arteta now commands players like Eberechi Eze.
Eza clips it in behind. Opportunity here for Gabriel Martinelli. Lifted over Donnarumma, and it's into the back of the net!
Ricardo Calafiori and Mikel Merino have all contributed decisive, defence-splitting passes that perfectly complement the team's renewed identity, and with 6 players set to return from injury, including the explosive Gabriel Martinelli. Arsenal's attacking armoury is only getting stronger, deeper and more unpredictable. The problem was obvious and the numbers made it impossible to ignore. When Arteta was asked back in November 2023 how Arsenal could finally crack low blocks, his answer was simple: by practicing. He spoke then about finding the right key to unlock the doors, a metaphor that perfectly captured Arsenal's biggest weakness, their inability to break down compact defences when the stakes were highest. It was the flaw that cost them everything. Their title collapse told the story with brutal clarity. 14 draws in 38 league matches, finishing second for the third year in a row, and scoring just 69 goals, while Liverpool exploded to 86. Arsenal controlled games, dominated possession, created pressure, but they could not kill. They could not break teams open consistently enough to turn domination into points. But 11 matches into the 2025-26 season, everything looks dramatically different. Arsenal sit top of the table with a 4-point cushion, and they now boast the third best attack in the league, only behind Manchester City and Chelsea. The improvement is not cosmetic, it is structural and measurable. They have also kept a perfect Champions League record after 4 matches, showing that this new attacking structure travels well into Europe. And domestically, their consistency has translated into cup form too, as they have already progressed to the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. This is no longer the Arsenal that almost broke teams down. This is the Arsenal that finally found the key, and now they are turning it over and over again with ruthless precision. But in this title race, we cannot ignore Arsenal's most terrifying weapon, their defence. Exceptional at both ends of the pitch, Arteta's backline is the foundation of Arsenal's extraordinary start, conceding just 5 goals in 14 matches across the Premier League and Champions League. This is not just good form, this is historically elite. Arsenal have equalled a club record that stood untouched for 122 years, matching the run from April to October 1903, when Woolwich Arsenal went 3 league games without conceding to finish the 1902-1903 season, and then opened the 1903-1904 campaign with 5 straight clean sheets. Only one team in Premier League history has conceded fewer goals at this point in a season. Chelsea's iconic 2004-2005 side breached just twice in their first 10 matches on their way to the title. That Chelsea team went on to set the all-time record for the fewest goals conceded in a Premier League season. 15 mark no one has truly threatened since. In an era of goals, chaos and hyper-attacking football, matching that defensive wall seemed impossible until now. Arsenal are currently conceding 0.30 goals per match, while that Chelsea side conceded 0.39. If Arsenal maintain their level across an entire campaign, they would finish with around 11 or 12 goals, conceded a number that would obliterate the Premier League's defensive record. And the scary part, Arsenal's defenders are not just stopping goals, they're creating them. Gabriel's knockdown for the opening goal recently was his 3rd assist in 4 starts, all from Arsenal's unstoppable corner routines, Calafiori. Meanwhile, leads all Premier League defenders in shots, ranks 2nd for expected goals with 1.98 and is 3rd for touches inside the opposition box. Timber is just as frightening, top of the league among defenders for XG and for touches inside the box with 34, while also sitting joint 3rd for total shots. Arsenal's defensive unit does not merely shut games down, it breaks games open. They suffocate opponents, they dominate both penalty areas, and they provide a scoring threat unmatched by any other backline in England. In a title race defined by fine margins, Arsenal's defence might be the sharpest blade of all. Now we need to talk about Arteta's darkest shadow, his recurring nightmare, the one rival he has never been able to escape, Manchester City.
In October, November, you don't win the Premier League. The teams win the Premier League is when every month the team is growing. And you see the feeling the team grows and grows and grows, you arrive at the end fighting for the title. It's not the team who is in September, October in the top, has to grow. Can be top or to be better and better. And always we won't have been like that.
This summer marked a total break with the past, a rupture so dramatic that it felt like City had shed an entire era overnight. Pep Guardiola said goodbye to Cheeky Begiristain, his lifelong ally from Barcelona to Manchester, and also waved off 6 Champions League winners in a single sweep. Ederson, Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Jack Grealish gone 3 captains, multiple leaders, an entire legacy dissolved in one summer window. And yet City did what City always seemed to do. They adapted, they evolved, they reshaped themselves into something even faster, even younger, even harder to predict. Against Liverpool on Sunday, they claimed 3 points with a starting 11 that included only 3 players from the 2023 Champions League final, Ruben Dias, Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland, while the rest of the side was a collage of new blood, new energy and new weapons. This is City 3.0.
The people think have a build-up, have a lot of passes, or maybe no good long balls or transition. We are not pragmatic. Pragmatic? We are the best team in the world being pragmatic. Look at the numbers. We won a lot. No, because at the end, being pragmatic, what does it mean? Related in results, right? Not in how beautiful football and this kind of stuff. I don't believe in that. I believe in being pragmatic. And we believe in the way we play. We are unbelievably pragmatic. The best, I would say. I'm sorry. That is the truth.
Guardiola's words say everything. "We are the youngest squad I've had here." Their average age has dropped to 24.9 from 26.6 last season, a complete shift in physicality and intensity. After years of relying on legendary technicians like Gundogan and De Bruyne, City now run with pure force. Doku and Omar Marmoush bring frightening pace. Nunes and Tijani Reinders cover the pitch like marathoners. Nico O'Reilly adds height at left back, and Nico Gonzalez brings raw power in midfield. The possession numbers tell the story. City have dropped from 65% 2 years ago to 56.8% now. Not because they've lost control, but because they no longer need the ball to dominate last season. Guardiola admitted he couldn't click. The squad was too small, too tired, too injured. Now he looks reborn, fueled by younger legs around the evergreen Bernardo Silva, who completed 94% of his passes against Liverpool. The system is faster, more vertical, more volatile, and above all, more unpredictable. One match it's Cherki drifting inside, the next it's Reinders controlling the half spaces, the next it's Silva wide right or tucked in as an extra 8. You simply cannot second guess this City. There is still the question of whether they can emulate the dynasty that came before them. 6 Premier League titles in 7 years, a Champions League, an era of total domination, but with this younger, hungrier, more explosive version of City. The great unknown is how high they can go. And this season, Guardiola has unlocked 2 lethal weapons that are tearing the league apart. Guardiola has created 3 terrifying factors this season. 3 elements that should have every club in the Premier League shaking, including Arsenal. The first is simple but lethal. He has built an entire game plan to maximise Erling Haaland's most dangerous weapons, runs into space, 1-against-1 duels, and that killer movement behind the last defensive line. City have already scored more counter-attacking goals before the halfway point of the season than they did across the whole of last year, and it makes perfect sense. With players like Jeremy Doku and Savinho stretching the pitch, and with Haaland in the best physical shape of his life, the damage was inevitable. 30 goals already across club and country. 30. Pep hit the bullseye by letting Haaland run free, and the result has been pure destruction. He buried Manchester United.
Oh, Haaland's onside! 2!
He struck down Arsenal. He shredded Liverpool. And every opponent in between. But what makes this version of Haaland even more frightening is the ecosystem around him. Rayan Cherki has already delivered 2 assists in the Bournemouth match alone. While Reinders
continues the run and back towards Haaland. 3-0.
Doku Foden.
Foden. Oh, that's clever. Haaland!
And even Guardiola. All Man City players understand the mission.
Looking for the run of Haaland, who's in here.
Get Haaland in front of goal, no matter what. And they have done it relentlessly. The second victory for Guardiola, the one that should genuinely make Arsenal nervous, is that all these players are in elite form. Cherki, Reinders, Doku, O'Reilly, Foden, every single one of them is performing above average. Some of them playing the best football of their entire careers. And because of this technical variety, City can attack you in absolutely any way they want. They can build a 20-pass sequence and score a Guardiola classic goal against Liverpool, or they can go direct and hit you before you blink. They can widen the pitch to the last centimetre for a cutback cross, or put Haaland into a raw foot race with a single vertical ball. Their resources are unlimited. That's why Haaland and Doku are 2 of the most in-form attackers in the entire league. Why Donnarumma looks like the perfect goalkeeper for a team with a winning DNA, and why they've broken their dependence on Rodri by uncovering the ideal complements in Nico Gonzalez, O'Reilly, and Nuno Gomes. No team in England attacks space better than City, and that's not opinion. It's visible every single weekend. Their exhibition against Liverpool was one of the finest performances any team has produced this season across Europe. While the rest of the league has embraced a new trend of long ball chaos, City went the opposite way. They played football, real football, and they played it beautifully. And City's danger doesn't stop at Haaland. Their wide players are outrageous. Doku is the best dribbler on the planet right now. Against Liverpool, he completed 9 of 10 dribbles against Connor Bradley, a defender who recently pocketed Vinicius Jr., and Doku can score on his own, like the thunderbolts he hit against Liverpool
Doku
and Napoli. Reinders, Foden and Cherki all carry brutal long-range shooting. O'Reilly gives insane depth down the flank, and with these profiles, Guardiola has endless tactical doors to open Doku or O'Reilly to stretch the wings, Savinho for raw pace, or Reinders, Cherki, Bernardo Silva, Foden, Rodri or Nico Gonzalez to construct long possession chains. It's endless, truly endless. Then there is the third factor, the one that elevates City from contenders to favourites. Guardiola's winning DNA. 1,000 matches coached, a win rate above 70%, 18 trophies at Manchester City alone, and an unmatched variety of tactical systems and in-game solutions. That is what no one else in the league has. City are the best team in England and Europe in 2025, the most home wins, the most dominant displays, and the one striker the world still cannot solve, Erling Haaland. This is why Arteta versus Guardiola isn't just a rivalry for this season, it's the future of the Premier League. Arteta, the architect who rebuilt Arsenal from mid-table mediocrity into a terrifying title favourite machine. And Guardiola, the genius who has conquered everything and refuses to slow down. Two football ideologies at war, two minds reshaping the league, and two teams heading toward a clash that will define the next decade. Yes, this is the new era of English football, the era of Arteta and Guardiola,